What is up, everybody? To Reverse TV here today, and we're gonna talk about this quote from Phil Spencer, him calling PlayStation slimy. This quote has been tweeting around for the past few days. I'm assuming this was a quote during Summer Game Fest, maybe after the Xbox showcase. And I guess he had an interview or something. And then he made this quote where Phil Spencer said he called PlayStation slimy for paying publishers for exclusive content. And I agree, they were slimy to an extent. But people have been taking this quote right here and saying, hey, Phil Spencer's a hypocrite because he just bought these big studios, like these big publishers like Bethesda and Activision, and he closed down some studios as well too. So they call him a hypocrite. So you expect that from Sony fanboys, right? To have a discourse like this was like, in all honesty, both PlayStation and Microsoft are doing shady stuff to stay relevant. I mean, that's how business pretty much is. If you want to be truly honest, none of these companies have a clean closet, so to say. So, but we have ex-PlayStation CEOs actually responding to this quote in a fanboy fashion. Very bizarre. This ex-PlayStation CEO Shawn Layden is actually responding with console war nonsense. He made a gif where somebody just laughing at this quote like it's just unbelievable that Phil Spencer would say something like this. And he also has been liking comments about somebody criticizing Phil Spencer. Sony fanboy comments said that LMAO Phil is constantly acting like an effing crybaby store loser, and it shows drastically. He knows that the upcoming PS5 showcase will destroy crap. He's also cited the 2 AAA Final Fantasy games skipped Xbox. Love to see it, to be honest. Then Shawn Layden liked this. I guess this was before Elon Musk made it official that you can't your likes are private now, so you can't see stuff like this anymore. But he liked this comment, some fanboy nonsense. So you would think, as an ex-CEO of Sony, you wouldn't partake in console war fanboy nonsense, but I guess not. I guess the leaders partake in console war fanboyism. So it's not only right that the people who follow their console does the same thing. So kind of crazy. I definitely was expecting to see that from a ex-CEO, but here you go right here. And it's like I said, they're both hypocrites. They both have to do shady stuff. And especially Phil. Like, Phil, he comes off as the Mr. Kumbaya. He wants everybody to play all these games and stuff on different platforms. That's the persona he gives off. But at the end of the day, they have to make money for their console brand. And it's like, sure, if all companies had their games on all platforms, the exclusivity thing is not really something I'm really cheering for. I don't really care about exclusivity at all. So I have all the systems. If it were to go away, I'll be just fine. All these exclusive consoles, the exclusive games for different consoles will end. I'll be just fine with that. But because the game was built on this whole having exclusive games to different consoles, it's what they got to go by. It's what they have to stand to make their console stand out. So, and it's like, if we're gonna play the game, to play the game. It's like both these companies are doing this whole like exclusives are bad, but we still don't have exclusives. Like PlayStation is like, hey, exclusives are good by having time exclusivity for single player games, but then they're putting games on PC. Same with Microsoft. It's like they're having some exclusives be exclusive to their platform, but then they're putting games on PlayStation, putting games on PC as well too. So it's very hypocritical, to be honest, with this whole exclusivity talk. It's like, either full out put your exclusives everywhere, or just stop half-assing it with both these companies, to be honest. But so, like I said, him saying they're slimy, I agree to an extent, because there's a lot of content they were keeping off Xbox in general. Like, Sony specifically paid money to keep stuff off Xbox, or keep stuff off Xbox Game Pass. When it's like, Sony didn't pay to keep these games in their service. They just pay to keep the games off Xbox Game Pass, and that's very slimy. So they have to react. Of course, they have to react. So people were saying that Xbox is slimy for buying Microsoft, but buying Activision Blizzard is so stupid, or buying Bethesda is stupid, because they have to make these moves, or Sony's going to keep making these deals, or they keep stuff off Xbox, so they have to do these deals. So it's blood on both people's hands, so to say. So it's like, it's so ridiculous to see Sony guys be like, hey, Shawn, you're right, Phil was slimy, when it's like PlayStation does the same crap. And then Shawn Layden is the head of Tencent right now, so who really cares about his opinion? Like, Tencent is probably worse than Microsoft and PlayStation put together, to be honest. So it's like, it's just a whole bunch of hypocrisy right here, to be honest. Says the company that wanted to spin its competitors out of business. I don't know who's referring to, Microsoft or PlayStation. I'm not really sure who's referring to, but if they had the chance, they would definitely spin their competition out of business. Both these companies would. So just to say this is a one company or the other one is just so ridiculous. I wonder who paid them to skip PlayStation. Phil being slimy and pointing at others when they know what to keep exclusive and what not. And then at the end, he decides about the biggest publisher in the industry and yet pointing at others to make himself the savior of the industry. What a joke. Come back. PlayStation completely changed once you left. No, you can stay gone. You can stay gone. And I do agree. Like, this is probably one of the worst PlayStation generations by far. But I was like, just acting like there's like none of these people are doing slimy stuff is just ridiculous from either company. Maybe it's just me, but acquiring multi-billion-dollar publishers seem way more slimy. Like, once again, how can you say them buying Activision Blizzard is slimy? Well, what people just like saying before all this happened, they were saying, hey, Activision is one of the worst companies ever. All these different SA charges are being brought up, these different charges about people being harassing the people in the workplace, stuff like that, discriminating against people in the workplace. They were saying it was one of the worst companies ever, but once but they're mad that Xbox bought the company and changed all that stuff around, because you don't really hear anything about those type of cases being brought up anymore once Xbox bought the company. So it's just like, what are we doing there? You're complaining that they bought Activision Blizzard. The games are still going to be on PlayStation, so what are you really complaining about? Like, you're just mad that Xbox has more, I don't know, more stuff to bargain with, make people want to buy their console more than PlayStation. It's just, these arguments just seem so stupid, to be honest. Phil Spencer once said it would be his career moment to acquire Valve and Nintendo. This is when Phil went to level unbound the competition. I mean, PlayStation was doing the thing the entire time. Like, and I think this is a Astrobot avatar, so of course they're biased. It's like, PlayStation has been buying the competition. So it's like Microsoft has to do the same. But once again, Phil Spencer was a whole kumbaya individual. And it's like that crap wasn't working, so they had to buy stuff. That kumbaya stuff was not working. Sony was simply use their money to stop Microsoft from getting any type of exclusive games or any games to their platforms. It's like, how many times you think you could poke the bear before the bear actually responds? It's like obvious. It's like Microsoft being a super rich company, they're gonna buy these big studios. It only makes sense that's gonna happen. Retirement has allowed him to remove the filter. It just seems like jealousy. I don't know. It's like they say you want to speak and shoot, but it seems like it's just a bunch of jealousy. Like, how are you at a different company and you complain about what Phil Spencer is doing? Like, for one, you're not even ahead of Sony anymore, so why do you care, to be honest? Like, you're working with Tencent. Like, I don't understand why he cares so much. It just seems so much, screams jealousy to me, to be honest. At least Phil Spencer did a big move like this with his impact to gaming. I don't know what Tencent does for the gaming industry, to be honest. I just hear people complain about Tencent. I don't know what they do positive for the gaming industry. If this is legit, dang, that guy's unprofessional. It just seems very unprofessional, to be honest. It's like, who does that? Like, you're ex-CEO and you criticize another CEO. It seems very unprofessional, as he said it right here. And insulting, he lost all remaining respect I had left towards him. I cannot believe you shared the stage with this guy a couple years ago. Yeah, it just seems like it just seems so catty. It seems like some mean girls type of behavior right here. Like, you had this one ex-CEO who's just jealous because Phil Spencer is doing great for Microsoft. Like, once again, once he was in head of Microsoft, Xbox was a lot better. Like, we had Game Pass. We got all these games coming out. Their showcase was amazing. People were hyped for Xbox. People were not hyped for Sony this past week. So it's like, I can see Phil Spencer doing changes. People are like what he's doing, but it just seems so much like jealousy. It just screams jealousy to me, in all honesty. To make that comment like that, to like Sony fanboy tweets. I was like, really? Who does that? What CEO just likes fanboy tweets? It's just getting sad out here. And then people are shocked. They'll say, "Hey, oh crap, that's Shawn Layden." Like, really? And like, it's so pathetic. Sean thought Phil still got a job and he don't. Maybe that's the real reason. Because once again, I don't. Tencent isn't really as big as a position as PlayStation or Microsoft. So maybe he's mad that Phil Spencer is doing big things for one of the big three gaming companies and he's not anymore. He's not in that position anymore. So maybe, I don't know. It just seems like jealousy to me. I'm going to conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts about this because this is definitely some weird stuff right here. Once again, you can't see stuff like this anymore because Elon nuked the whole like button. You can't see people liked, but we had ex-PlayStation CEOs liking Sony fanboy tweets attacking Phil Spencer. Once again, didn't expect this to see this on my bingo list, but here we go. Ex-CEOs attacking now current CEOs of gaming CEOs. It's just weird, but definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.